Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubbs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh,
God! Chubs Gone Wild!
Well, hello and welcome to another fabulous Chubbs Gone Wild. This is episode 586, recorded on Monday, March 31st, 2025, where it is 60 degrees and rainy outside, sort of, kind of, in Chubland.
Yeah, we're done with the rain for the day. It comes in, it's been coming in the early morning, like 3 or 4 o'clock,
Right?
goes to about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. By the time I get up, it's over with.
Yep, same. Yeah, except for yesterday, it went on a little longer, but pretty much right after I got up, doop, done. But it is 20 days until Easter, 214 until Halloween, and only 269 days until Christmas. Well, today we celebrate, at least in California, Cesar Chavez Day. Cesar Chavez is a U.S. federal commemorative holiday, not an official holiday, but a commemorative holiday, proclaimed by the great President Barack Obama in 2014. The holiday celebrates the birth and legacy of the civil rights and labor movement activist Cesar Chavez on March 31st every year, and state workers, et cetera, have today off in California because we recognize what an amazing person he was. And I remember all growing up, I heard his name and all the protests and the work that he did. It was pretty awesome. So anyway, well, today's affirmation. The way ahead is clear and free. I give myself permission to move out of the past with gratitude and into a joyous new day. Ah, ah. I like that one. That was nice. Speaking of a clear, happy, wonderful gratitude new day, gratitudinous, thankful new day. We want to talk about our Patreons at Patreon, which offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and much more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Stas, and from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Charles, Phoenix Dave, Brother Sinatus, Kingsley, Kathy Bacon, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame to find out how you can support the work that we do for as little as $1 a month. And the copies of Insights of an Outsider are all signed and ready to get into their envelopes and out to all the folks who have confirmed that they would like a copy. So thank you very much, all of our patrons. All right. Well, today was a big day in history. On March 31st, 1889, the Eiffel Tower is dedicated in Paris in a ceremony presided over Gustave Eiffel, the tower's designer, and attended by French Prime Minister Pierre Tritat and a handful of other dignitaries and 200 construction workers. Now, you've been there?
No,
Oh, okay. You've been to France.
no.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, tell Sean. Tell Sean it's time. Let's see. And then Oklahoma opens on Broadway on March 31st, 1943. In spite of a less than promising lead up, it would go on to set Broadway record of 2,212 performances before finally closing 5 years later. I'm sorry, I just don't care for Oklahoma much. I love the music, but it bores me.
Well, it's back in those times where the women were stupid and the guys were pervy, and I didn't.
No.
And there's a lot of those, Brigadoon and what's the other one? Uh,
Carousel,
Carousel. Oh God, I hate Carousel so
right?
much.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, you can even look at. I mean, you go in there, The King and I,
Oh
My Fair
yeah.
Lady,
Yeah.
Oliver, Camelot. They douchey guys and stupid women.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Pop star Selena is murdered in Corpus Christi, Texas, shot dead by the president of her own fan club. On March 31st, 1999, the writing and directing sibling. Oh, this is a separate one, by the way. On March 31st, 1999, the writing and directing sibling team of Lana and Lily Wachowski released their second film, the mind-blowing science fiction blockbuster, The Matrix. Wow. I remember The Matrix was so cool and innovative.
Yeah, but the interesting thing was that they're transgender,
Hmm.
and that's what was so shocking was they both came out transgender, and they still continued to direct.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
it's wonderful.
well, it's really a great
It's are good.
transgender, story,
Hmm.
success story. They had enough money and they had enough power that when they changed genders, it didn't affect their life. It
Right.
actually got them to be more popular. And then they hit with their movie Matrix. That was a little film about I don't know, something, but it was popular as I remember.
Yeah. Yep. They're definitely, I mean, they're so talented. I just love their work. All right. Holidays. Oh, well, let's see. Who knows? We may have accidentally celebrated something today. Holy crap, there's a lot of things. Okay. Well, of course, it's Cesar Chavez Day, as we said, and it is also Dance Marathon Day. Okay. It's also, oh my gosh, Eid el-Fitr, which is from the Islamic calendar, and I'm sure I probably said that horribly. Sorry. Eiffel Tower Day, of course. International Taco Day. I haven't had any international tacos lately. It's International Transgender Day of Visibility. That is a day, of course, that I have celebrated. I posted it on Facebook, and have many transgender friends who liked it. Yay! I'm an ally, um, for sure.
Ugh.
Sorry, I lost my place here. There we go. Okay, it's National She's Funny That Way Day. National Après Day. Bunsen burners. No, thank you. Clams on a half shell. Do you like clams on a half shell?
I do not.
Yeah, no, thank you. National Crayon Day. Hmm. There are times when I think back and think, gosh, it would be fun just to sit down and color in a coloring book with crayons. But now I have an app for that. National Farm Day, Farm Workers Day, National Prom Day.
It's
Ew.
a little early for prom.
Yeah. Did you ever go to your proms?
Oh, of course, I went to all of them.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I did not. I didn't go to high school, so I didn't have any proms. National Tater Day. No, no, I don't plan on having any taters today. Terry's Day. Okay. Also, World Backup Day. So back up your world.
You mean not no French fries or anything?
Um, oh well, no, no French fries. I was thinking hmm, there is a little TV dinner thing in there, and it might have some potatoes in it, but yeah, not really planning on it. All right. Well, let's see whose birthday we are celebrating today. Happy birthday to Raquella, Adam, Matt, Terry, um, and John Ong. He is one of our amazing podcasters. Actually, one of the first generational podcasters, Mr. John Ong. Very happy to have met him in Vegas. Let's see. Also, coming up, happy birthday to Joseph, Christy, Tom, David, formerly known as Zillafag from the Zillafag podcast. We have Mia Ho. Oh, also Jim, Robert, Shawnee, Jeffrey, Debbie. Oh, actually, Debbie is one of our podcast people, a very awesome listener. We also have Chris Stara, Emmett, Emmett Fraun, the amazing musician, also part of the Pride 48 network and the Univaz network. And then, of course, we have author Declan Rhodes and Felicia, Danny, and Aunt. Actually, it's Aunt. And we know Aunt from the podcasting community as well. So happy birthday to lots of our amazing podcasters. Well, let's jump into our feedback. Oh, there's
Wait.
there.
Okay. And, this is the last opportunity you have to ignore the lovely Kathy Bacon's birthday month, but you've already done that. So, okay, moving on. Moving on to feedback. Okay.
It's done.
What do
30
you have?
days, and I
Oh,
I
30
don't have
days?
that much span.
You don't count the 31st day of March?
All right, I guess so. Happy birthday month to Kathy Bacon.
You're so hateful. Go ahead. Move on.
No, it is genuine, of course.
Ugh.
Anyway, all right. Well, there's nothing in our feedback, and now it's time for chub hugs. I want to send a huge chub hug out to Kathy Bacon for her birthday month. Even though
Oh
Tom
my
will
God,
send
stop
you
it. It's
a
just
chub
so
hug.
insincere. It's ugly. It's ugly.
That's not insincere.
Well, here I'm
Ugly
going to
it
give
may
my
be.
my
Insincere
chub
it is
hugs to
not.
those people in Thailand who so
Yes.
many died,
Oh
but just
God.
the pictures from it, the pools on the skyscrapers that
Right?
are overflowing, and do you see the one where the people were actually in the pool and they got out of the pool and the
Yeah.
floats that they were on went
That
over the side?
that was scary as heck. Oh my God. Yeah. We have a former podcaster Tom in Thailand who is there that I had to check on. He's okay. And then he and his husband. And then we have another local one. He used to go by the name Large Marge. Remember her? She is currently in Thailand, living in Thailand as well, and they are fine as well. But yeah, very, very scary.
Are they staying at the White Lotus?
God, I hope not. I don't think anyone should stay there. Of course, in the opening show when they had the monkeys like coming on the porch and stuff, I was like, "Oh hell no, I'm out." Mm-mm. Not to
But
mention snakes and other little creepy crawlers and iguanas. I was like, "Nope."
and I'm sure spiders and
Ugh.
scorpions and ugly, gross things that get into your room.
No, thank you.
And remember,
No.
always you have to shake out your shoes in places like that to make sure nothing's crawled in and
Right?
made home in your shoe
Oh God,
and
no.
under your pillow. And what you do, you also don't tuck in your sheets
Hmm.
because stuff could be living at the bottom of your bed
Uh,
sheets. So
and then when that girl got
pillowcases,
bit by that
pillowcases too.
snake, I was just like, fuck all of you. No thanks. That's why I don't ever want to go to Australia either.
Oh, I know. Sean wants to go to Australia, and I'm like, they've got they've got like spiders the size of VW bugs.
Yeah.
No,
It's like, no, I don't need any Harry Potter type spiders. Thank you very much. Anyway. All right. So moving on to news, unless now that was your chub hug, right? Do you
I
have more?
no.
Okay, didn't want to cut you off. All right.
Ugh.
Let's see. Time for the news. Well, Donald Trump has instructed Vice President J.D. Vance to remove everything related to slavery, segregation, police brutality, and systematic racism in the Smithsonian's African American Museum.
So basically, whitewash the African
Yes.
American Museum.
Yes,
Okay.
because showing any of that or acknowledging any of that is considered un-American ideology. Because you should go to a museum to learn, not be forced to see woke ideology. You know, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back, and it's gonna come back. Hmm. Anyway, moving on. The nation's stricter border enforcement has recently led to the detention of Canadian and European tourists, prompting Germany, the UK, Denmark, Finland, and Portugal to issue travel warnings and advisories to the country. Now it appears that the growing number of voices are advocating for an all-out boycott of travel to the US. Mm-hmm. Can't say I blame them. All right, and with that glorious news, let's move into some very sad celebrity deaths.
First up, Samsung's co-CEO Hans Jong He passed away at 63 years old of cardiac arrest. He was leader of consumer electronics. He dedicated 37 years to Samsung's growth.
Wow.
Clive Revale, the voice of the Emperor in The Empire Strikes Back, dies at 94. And let's see, we got L.J. Smith, the author of Vampire Diaries. He died at has died at 63. I'm not sure if it's a male or female. Let's see, the New York Times best-selling writer, penned more than 29 books, including a series that inspired the hit TV show. And finally, as a screen legend, TV legend, stage legend, huge star who was also came out gay later in life. Richard Chamberlain died at 90 this weekend.
Wow. Yeah, my grandmother had a huge crush on him, and like I remember sitting with her watching like the Thornbirds and that type of stuff, and just thinking, wow, there's something about him. Something about him. Of course, then later on we realized there was something about him. But yeah, he was pretty awesome. All right.
He was never one of my favorites, but all the girls in high school loved him.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, now it's time to find out what Tom did this week.
Well, show wise, let's see. We can start off with Deal or No Deal Island. They had the big finale this weekend or this week. David, who was from Australia Survivor, he won Australia Survivor. He went on to win this for $5,800,000.
Wow.
So nice little take home.
Yeah.
American Idol, we are finishing that tonight is the final audition episodes. So we will be in Hollywood next week. Drag Race 17. It was the mom and dads get makeovers. And it was kind of disturbing because there were five contestants left. So it was a mixture of fathers and mothers that came in, but all of the fathers and mothers were like, "Oh, I love my gay child. I'm so happy that he's a drag queen, she's a drag queen, however you want to call." Everybody was like PC perfect except for Susie Toots, whose mom we find out is named Susie. Her maiden name was Toots, so she named herself after her mom. But she got there right away and goes, "I just don't think I can do any of this. I don't know why they had me come in because I can't do the." And you're like, "Oh my God!" It's like watching Top Chef when someone goes, "Oh, everything's going wrong for me," and okay, well, you're going to go home. So it ended up they ended up being safe, which I was surprised. I thought they were going to be in the bottom, but they overall it was it was such a loving episode that Rue just didn't send anybody home. So it looks like this coming up Friday, we're going to have a double
Mm.
elimination. We finished up The Bachelor this week, big finale. It was so awful, so awful. We were down to the last two girls, and the one girl was the Mormon from Utah. She, he is Grant had been talking her up. Oh no, you're the one for me. I love you too. This is so great. And then the day of the, uh, he just decided, no, I want to go with the other girl. So the girl was pissed, and she, when because they had the audience, for the last show, watching it, and she goes, look, all he ever did was tell me, don't worry, you're the one, I love you, we're gonna have, even the day before, I said, oh my god, tomorrow we're gonna be engaged, and he goes, I know, that's gonna be so exciting. And then he's just, it's just, fuck him. Oh my god, I was so pissed. We didn't get to find out who the new bachelorette is, so I guess they haven't made any decision there. But it was ugly. It was ugly. So um, let's see, Masked Singer this week. Speaking of ugly, we started the Group C for the season, and Cherry Blossom ends up going home and ends up being Candace Cameron, that bitch.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it was like a double whammy. Just keep hitting me with all these awful things. Oh, and
What,
speaking of
what,
that,
which show was this?
that's Mass Singer.
Gotcha. Okay. Ew.
Okay.
Yeah. Gross.
Then the Connors, we have to deal with Darlene, and then Ben comes back, and he's shaved off his beard and mustache. It's
Nice.
it's like, I mean, he was still cute when he was in The Real O'Neills, but you know,
Hmm.
and then he's gone back to Darlene. It's like, Ben, why? I keep
Maybe it's a
asking you why you're doing
self-portrainer.
these things. So that was tough.
Portrainer.
There's a new show on Hulu right now called Paradise.
Oh
And
yeah.
this
Hmm.
it's about, basically, the first episode you're watching, and it just looks like it's about this president and his Secret Service guy, and the Secret Service guy finds him dead, and you're thinking, oh great, it's going to be Who Killed the President. And it
Hmm.
turns out that they're actually Who Killed the President while we're inside this cave in the Rocky Mountains, because there's been some sort of nuclear incident that's happened outside, and so we've got 25,000 billionaires and people, slaves working for them
Hmm.
for the rest of their lives, and it's like, what? So
Yeah.
it was kind of threw me, but it's really a good show. It's really
Yeah. It
compelling.
it was it. I stopped watching it after I think most of the way through episode two because it's just for me it was raising my anxiety level too high. But it was really well done.
Let's see, did you watch White Lotus last
Yeah.
night?
Hmm.
Okay. So uh basically, it was kind of a filler episode again,
Yeah.
because we only have one episode left. So next week is going to be the big, you know, why the black kid is running from somebody who's shooting people inside the, which we saw the very first episode. So we don't know who was floating in the water that was dead. There's so much to find out. But Uncle Billy, who is from the Real O'Neill's, who's the guy who was going to kill the man who killed his father, ends up not killing him, but he ends up going back and drinking with his friend, and he's gonna fuck him. He's gonna fuck him because that he gets drunk, and then he invites
Huh.
the girls over to watch him get fucked by men. So
See, I
that'll be
didn't.
fun. I'm
Yeah,
looking
I
forward to
didn't
that.
even think about it going there. I just thought, wow, you just threw away how many years of sobriety over.
Well, he had already started drinking over at the house
Right.
anyway. So,
Oh, I was
um,
expecting that guy to tell him that he was his dad.
oh, I think they're practically the same age, so that might be kind of hard.
Well, you know what I mean, the guy that he knocked over.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been good.
Yeah. Because they kind
Um,
of look alike.
well, because he was like he's going, he says his mother's name with a big question. What? Her? What? I did what? And
Yeah.
then Uncle Billy, who I keep calling Uncle Billy, he was like, then I don't even deal with you. So that was a really weird situation.
Yeah.
And then with the girl getting laid by the guy at the fights, and then her girlfriend showing up and her having to climb out the I was worried that she was going to get like abducted, on her trying to find a way home. She got a cab, but now I'm scared for her still.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
especially since that guy's trying to hit her up for that money. I was like, oh, that's just
and
fucked
so
up.
and we're in Thailand still. They haven't had the earthquake there yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then the father who's suicidal
Mm,
has the son and the wife both going, I could never live an ordinary life. And now
right.
he's going, well, I could save them by murdering them. So
Yeah.
and then killing myself. Then he finds out he doesn't have the gun. So it's all just a setup for whatever's going to happen. And
Right.
and the um, and the older brother wouldn't have sex with the girl and her boyfriend because he doesn't have sex with in a three-way with a guy there unless it's his brother to jack him off. So
Apparently. Yeah.
so there
Oh,
we
by the
go.
way, I just
Yeah,
wanted to say, and I heard this actually. I said this to you, I think, uh, in a text, and then I
maybe a
heard it later
dream.
on a podcast reiterated, is that people seem to be freaking out over this, and yet I barely heard more than a titter or two about Game of Thrones when they literally were showing the brother and sister going at
Well, they were going at it and they ended up having a child.
it. Actually, I think all weren't all the kids the brothers.
I don't know. Were there a lot of other kids? I don't think there were a lot
There
of
were
other kids.
three because she had three kids, and then she had a prophecy that each one would like become king and then die in a certain way. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that
I
was
barely
straight.
heard
That's
anything
why
about that,
it's
but
straight. It's straight sex, so it's okay.
exactly.
Even though there's a child born, which of course, that doesn't matter to the certain people. Incestual children are still children.
I heard it was popular in the South.
Let's
I
see.
said it.
We started a new series on Hulu. No, Netflix. No, it's Hulu. It's Netflix. It's Netflix called The Residence
Oh yeah, I just
with
saw that.
Uzo
Hmm.
Aduba, who is from Orange is the New Black, who was Crazy Eyes and sensational. In this one, there's been a death at the White House, so keeping in that kind of area.
Hmm.
There's been a death at the White House, and she's been called in. She's kind of like a Sherlock Holmes kind of character, but she sees all. So and it's a comedy, so it's pretty fun.
And
Uh,
the president is gay.
yes, and Jane Curtin is his mother, and she doesn't care much for his husband. Um, let's see, over on Hulu, they just added the latest episode of Alone America, but it's in the Arctic Circle, which is Canada, up North Canada, toward the North Pole, and it looks like it's going to be really cold. But at least there's food. Everybody's fishing and catching fish. Somebody got a squirrel. Somebody's trying to kill a moose. Somebody's trying to kill a
Not
beaver.
moose.
But you don't eat the beaver because the beaver always makes you sick.
No, you eat the moose.
Yeah, but if you have a moose in your area, but if you don't, you eat beaver and then you get sick and go home. Oh, on the first episode, one guy was carrying his arrows, and arrow fell out of the quiver, and he walked into it, and it pierced his thigh. He had to leave.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was gross. On Survivor this week, Bianca ended up going home. Bianca was, when they switched tribes around, she was the one lone person from her tribe, where the other four people, two were from one tribe, two were from the other tribe.
Hmm.
So you kind of vote out the person in the middle. Um, let's see, watched Chelsea Handler, her new stand-up on Netflix, where she talked about when she found out how when she accidentally masturbated and then she couldn't stop as a child. So she was masturbating everywhere.
Oh,
Pretty funny. Oh, you were too, so I don't want to hear it. Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
what you're talking about.
So I watched three new movies. I saw Honora, which was the best picture of the year, and it wasn't the best picture of the year.
Yeah.
It was she plays a sex worker who is hanging out with this Russian oligarchy son who's paying for everything. He's giving her thousands of dollars. He's buying her nice stuff. He ends up marrying her in Vegas. And then the parents find out about this. They come back. They sent their goons to get the kid and the girl so they can annul the wedding and pull him out of America because he can't be trusted. But the goons that are trying to get the girl are pretty funny, but not enough to fill 2.5 hours of I don't care
Mhm.
about this storyline.
Mhm.
Secondly, we watched Twister, Caught in the Storm, and I thought, oh, I love a good, Twister movie.
Yeah, yeah.
It turned out to be a documentary about um, uh, it was Missouri, Joplin, Missouri. They had a huge tornado hit them 2009, right during high school graduation. So all the people were down there, and a lot of people got killed. So,
Oh,
I mean, it was interesting, but I don't, Twisters. I'd rather not have a true story because then I have to feel bad.
yeah.
So, and then we watched Wicked. So,
Mm.
saw that again. Um, and two new movies that are out, but I haven't watched them yet on both Disney and Hulu. Mufasa and The Complete Unknown, which is Timothy Chalamet playing Bob Dylan for Best Picture. I did want to mention that After Midnight is canceled on CBS with Taylor. She's, I mean, for her, I think it's, she does stand up. She probably, a show like that has got to take up a lot of time. She's probably doing 100 plus episodes a year. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So let's see. After that, I do have a problem with this is the thing that I don't know. Nobody can help me with this, I guess, is on streaming services. Okay, when you watch regular cable television, you didn't have to futz with the sound very often. It was pretty much
Ugh.
matched. But
Uh-huh.
when you get on streaming, I'm like, because my sound thing goes up to 100, right? So
Mhm.
normally, right around 50 for like Netflix and Max is right around 50, but I have to go up into the mid 60s for Paramount. And usually on YouTube, I'm down into the 40s and 30s
Mhm.
because it's
Mhm.
the sound. It's ridiculous, especially when you go from Paramount Plus and then you go over to YouTube and then it sounds like your TV's ready to explode
Oh
because
yeah.
you forgot to lower it.
Yep,
So
I've done that. Yeah.
somebody needs to figure this out.
Well,
And then
the thing
what?
that pisses me off even more is when you use like Max and the voices are way down here and then the music's way up here. It's like I'm constantly turning it up and down, up and down. And there's supposed to be some services that will actually help you equalize it, but I haven't found one that's done it yet.
Well, you did you watch Saturday Night Live this week?
No, I don't watch that.
Okay, well, the musical guest was country star Morgan Wallen, and it was weird because at the end of the show, because actually Maddie, no, it's not Maddie, it's Marky, the girl from Nora was the guest host.
Oh, okay.
So you know how usually at the beginning, I mean, at the end, they're all out there going, "Thank you so much," but
Yeah.
they're all up front. It's the musical guest, it's the host, and any special people that were there, and then the cast kind of right behind him, but everyone's up. Everybody in the cast was at the back of the stage, and she and Morgan were up front. And then as soon as she said, thanks, Morgan, thank you for the cast. Thanks. I had a great time and good night. And then he left the stage. He went right out through the front of the stage, past the cameras, and left. And he went immediately to his airplane and said, "Get me to God's country."
Uh-huh.
So
He caused quite a stir making that exit. Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen, because I hadn't heard that. So when we watched the episode, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I mean, nobody does. Everyone stays out there and waves, and then they're there until it's over.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I missed one thing. Oh, I guess you're going to talk about it too. So, because we talked about that, and the other thing that we watched together was Mid-Century Modern. Now, I'm sure you binged the entire series, right?
I haven't had a chance to start it yet. That's my plan for today.
Oh, okay. Well, of course, all the gays are already shitting on it.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
It's too stereotypic. They're making it for comfortable for heterosexuals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gay people, this is the way things get done. Baby steps. We haven't had a good gay show on, that doesn't get shit on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in a long, long time, mostly. And the thing is, whenever we do get a gay show, even if it's not the best thing in the whole world, but it's still getting our point across. It's making people love, it's like Cam and Mitch got shit on because they were stereotypes.
Yep.
But you know what? 11 years of people loving the fact that here's a gay couple, and it does have its pluses. Will and Grace, not that it wasn't the greatest show in the whole world, but it did get people familiar with gay people and less frightened or whatever the fuck they are with us. But and are they a little bit stereotypic? Okay, so it's a older gay man in his 60s, or two older gay men in their 60s, one in his 50s, and you know what? They're as stereotypic as anybody I know. Okay, so if that's stereotyping, then that's stereotyping. But I'm tired of everyone crapping on it. The first episode was, it's a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we get to the situation. So that one you got to get over with. But they're bringing on gay people to be guest stars. They had Mitchell from Modern Family. Tyler Ferguson. He what's his first name?
Jesse.
Jesse Tyler Ferguson. He was on episode 2. It's give it a chance. Just fucking give it a chance. Yeah. And the second season will be better. But if all we do is always put down, we're not going to see anything ever. Look, even the gays don't want to see it. That's what Hollywood says. Even the gays don't want to see it. So why are we producing this stuff?
And I heard from a lot of people that are more reliable, like in their reviews, that the first episode was stereotypical and rough, but then it got better. And it wasn't the greatest of shows, but they really enjoyed it and stopped buying the hype. And I think this is something that hurt it, was trying to hype it as a gay Golden Girls, because from what I understand, it is not that at all. It's just the premise of being older.
Well, it's older men living in a house together.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're gay, then they're girls. And you have Linda Lavin there. She's mama
until episode 8.
So I mean, you can kind of what's his name is like Rose, because he's kind of dumb. He's the air steward. You've got Nathan Lane, who's kind of like Dorothy. I mean, we can pick around it all. I wrote a show 25 years ago that's It's very similar to this too. So who
Yeah.
was I ripping off? Golden Girls as well? Is that
Wait,
always the plan?
I
We
don't
always
think you
have to go
ripped it
to
off. I think you did a. I would rather see trolling than this, but I would rather have this than nothing.
exactly. There we go.
So there.
So what did you do this week?
Well, aside from, finally going and cleaning and running errands and doing all that stuff. So mom is doing better. Yeah, we hadn't
Are
done
you
the
having
appointment
you
yet.
having a little thing now? What's
No,
going on
I'm just
here?
saying we hadn't done the appointment yet when we
Okay.
recorded last. Okay, so anyway, the appointment went very well. I'm very thankful to my Aunt Kendall for having taken us up there and done all that. And mom seems to be doing better. So very, very, very happy and thankful about that. And so then I've just been kind of doing myself and being
Ew.
tired and et cetera, and just trying to one foot in front of the other right now, and that's about me. So, I did watch some stuff. I watched the latest episode of Wheel of Time, which which is the season 3. We're getting kind of toward the end of the season, I think, and this was another kind of filler episode. And it's the whole one where Morgaine or whatever her name is, uh, basically has been told by the big prophecy tree that in order for the dragon to do his thing, that she can't be alive at the same time. Um,
Just like Harry Potter.
I know, right? The thing that I really like about this is they do have openly queer characters, and I love the relationship between Moeve or Magain or whatever her name is, and the mother character who is the head of the uh I hate a church, whatever the fuck it is. I can't keep half this shit straight. But they have this beautiful romantic lesbian relationship, and the characters, they seem to have real chemistry. The mother character is so just perfect in this role. So it's like I really like this show, but I just want it to be more, I want it to actually say something and not just have a bunch of characters going around going, oh, we have to do this, oh, we have to do that, but in the meantime, let's have a dream. Whatever. Anyway, so I'm hoping that it gets better. Uh, Not that it's horrific. Daredevil released 2 episodes, Daredevil Born Again, and both of them were really good. Lots of action, lots of kick-ass, and Charlie Cox. I mean, just really great. And unfortunately, I can see it heading toward where you're just like not going to be happy with the outcomes of what happened, but I'm still all in. I don't know why they dropped 2 episodes, but I'm hoping they still drop another one this week. Reacher finished all 8 episodes. It finished this weekend, and it was so good, except for the forced romance. And at the end of it, she gives him this speech about, oh, well, I'm not the kind of girl that could ever stick around and be part of a relationship. Well, you know what? No one cares because it was stupid. It was like everybody that I have seen online talk about that at Reacher said this is the best season yet. But man, that relationship was forced. It should never have even happened. And I agree with that. Um, then of course, I'm still catching up. I'm on season 10 of Spring Baking Championship. I'm almost to where it's going to be current, but I'm happy with letting it get more episodes before I get there because I don't like the whole week to week thing. Um, but I ended up watching seasons 1 and 2 of Euphoria. Now, I remember you saying that you hated the show.
Hated it.
Yeah. Um, I don't blame you actually, because I watched it and I on first off I want to say that it was really well done. It was very well written. It was very well acted. All the elements are there for a really amazing series, but man, I just most of these people, 90% of these people, I just couldn't fucking stand. I did think it gave me tremendous respect for Zendaya as an actress. She was amazing in this role. Um, I understood a lot of the depression and the way that they kind of explained things to her character was just brilliant. So all in all, I mean, I'm glad I watched the series, but at the same time, I really can't stand these people, and it's gonna come back for a third season. And the Nate character, oh, I hate him. And I actually looked it up online, and there are huge Reddit forums about how much people fucking hate that character. Um, so yeah, he's a disgusting bastard. Um, and but yeah, so I wouldn't recommend Euphoria in if you are somebody that deals with like if you've dealt with like drug addiction or severe depression and stuff. I'd say just avoid it. But I'll tell you that last part of season two, they had two episodes that just were fucking amazing. Um, except for the end. The end, Nate can go fuck himself. Next up. All right, let's get into. I'm a 29-year-old male, and I have been with my wife, a 28-year-old female, for 8 years. The meals are just about the only place of contention in our marriage. But I'm scared she's going to kill someone one day. Here's the background. We split the cooking in our house 50-50, but when she cooks, I feel like I have to watch her like a hawk. She undercooks just about everything, especially meat, and no matter how many times I try to politely correct her, she claims I'm being picky. For example, every time she makes rice, I just can't convince her it's 1 part rice to 2 parts water. She always says, "Are you sure?" Yeah, well, if it's minute rice, that's not correct. Anyway, that seems like a lot of water, or maybe that's just how you like it, but I don't want it so mushy. The package on and Google won't convince her either, and I just swallow my pride and eat the crunchy rice every time. It's like that with everything, pasta, veggies, bread, meat. The thing is, I wouldn't care so much if it was just me, but she always wants to cook for our friends. She really prides herself on cooking and wants to make everything herself. I just trail behind her, trying to make sure it's all edible, but uh, there's usually a few dishes that end up drastically oversalted or undercooked. Our friends will politely eat, but I noticed them coming to fewer and fewer invitations for dinner. Things all came to a head the other night. Oh, when uh, to put some chicken when she went to put some chicken in the oven as I was hopping in the shower. When I came out, she had pulled the chicken out and said dinner was ready. I was skeptical and told her it had only been like 10 minutes. She said she pan-seared it first, so it was fine, but when I came to look, the sides were literally pink. That's food safety number one. She said, I thought it was done, and it's not her fault. Her mother never showed her how to cook chicken growing up. And I then told her, well, you're almost 30. There's no excuse for not knowing how to cook at all. Needless to say, she was pretty upset with me, and I'm probably could have been nicer, but I've been nice about it for 8 years and nothing's changed. Am I the asshole? Come
I
on,
don't even
Yonner.
I don't even know how to. I mean, I don't know how what to do here. That's just gross.
So he's not the asshole for telling her you need to learn how to cook.
Well, yeah, he's not the asshole.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't know what I would do in that situation. Well, my grandmother pulled some really rank cooking things when we were younger. she would undercook things sometimes. She tried to cook a blue chicken once by, yeah, she boiled a chicken in the pot that had just had dye for clothes in it, and it turned blue. Um, yeah, no, I don't think you're the asshole at all. I think you need to get a divorce. So, moving on. All right. Hey, Chubbs, Timothy wants to know, is there a place you miss that no longer exists?
Um, yeah.
What would that be? Would you like to elaborate? Whose
Um,
bathhouse
uh,
that would
Pi-
be?
Pioneer Chicken.
Okay.
You never had it because it was never up here, but oh, it was so good. It was so good.
Uh, yeah.
And the only reason it's gone is because it was I believe it was a problem with your divorce and that kind of thing.
Mm.
So it kind of threw everything apart. I hear that there are three Pioneer Chickens in Thailand, hopefully now still, but or Mazatlan. No, not Mazatlan. Oh God, what is it? It's down there. Anyway, one of those countries that has boys that are constantly sending me pictures of themselves.
Oh, ew. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Huh. Um, do you remember Rico's Pizza?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was always so good when we, as a kid, when we would order a great big giant Rico's Pizza. It always seemed so huge.
Yeah, but it was pretty ordinary.
As a kid, pizza's pizza.
Yeah, you
So,
just saw how you could get one that was 24 inches.
yeah.
Did you ever get one of those?
Yeah, that's because we had a lot of people, so but all the
Well,
kids would just get like two slices if they were lucky.
and they were this long though. They were
Yeah,
huge.
they were. Yep, that's what
Because
I love that.
and yeah, we did that one time after drama, something with drama, maybe it was school, but we went a group of us went down to Rico's, and then we were on one of the round tables where they brought out the pizza and laid it on the whole fucking table basically, so that was fun.
Um, Not Rico's Pizza, but here's just how fat I am for pizza. I fell off a stage in the dark, 3 foot stage, landed on my chest. I believe I probably at least broke or fractured a rib, and really hurt myself. And well, number one, I was embarrassed, so I didn't want to say anything. But the other thing was we were going to pizza, and I didn't want to miss pizza, so I'd rather have pizza than go to the hospital. Anyway. All right, let's see. Oh, my place that no longer exists well, it kind of does now, but in World of Warcraft, before they did all the expansions and stuff, it used to be a thing that once you hit like level, I think it was 70, 60 or something like that, you go and you'd hang out on the top of the bank in Orgrimmar, and that was always fun. But except in Classic WoW, it doesn't exist anymore. They've changed it all. All right. Hey Chubbs, why are men taught to treat why are men taught how to treat women, but women aren't taught how to treat men? Because women are sweet little angels who need to be protected and loved and
I don't think that women aren't taught how to treat men. Actually, well, treat men for the longest time, men could do whatever they fucking please, but women had to learn how to cook and
uh-huh.
clean and
Mm-hmm.
sew and do laundry and take care of the kids. So I honestly I think women have been taught more than men have. I mean, men are supposed to, look at your father, who's cheating on me, and he's a horrible, horrible person. That's the man you should be looking after. But it's just I don't know. I don't know that this is even a true statement.
Well, I think it depends on where and how you're raised because the whole when men taught how to treat women, you get the you don't hit women, you open the door, you did. I think this is very kind of an old school type question. Um, but women aren't taught how to treat men. I think that in some cases women were taught how to manipulate,
Oh, terrible,
or
terrible.
capture a
Uh,
man's attention. But yeah, I think this is just a very subjective question depending on how you're raised, because this question wouldn't necessarily fly with where my family came from. It's like we were fucking equal. When men and women were equal, and they did, blah blah
well,
blah.
see, I've
But
never felt that men and women have been equal in
see, I
general.
yeah, I
Um,
was raised that way. It was
well, that's
never a
because
question.
you were raised by women. That's why.
There were still men there, but
I
yeah,
know, but
but
who?
it's kind of weird because like my family was very much like everybody was fucking equal and you never questioned it, except when like my uncles found wives, they would be very typically, like, oh, you're the man, whatever you say goes, which was just odd.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is that I think that women were more taught how to treat a man, or yeah, how a man's supposed to be treated, than men were learned how to treat a woman.
Hmm,
And I mean, there's going to be exceptions to the rules, but for the
right.
most part, it was like women's need to. Because how many times have you heard women need to know where their place is?
Ugh, mostly from Republicans, but yes.
Yes, and so yeah, I mean, I think I was taught how to treat a woman, as far as, well, to treat women.
Hmm.
You treat them as well as you treat your mother. That's how you were.
Right.
And women were learned that they need to capture a man who's going to take care of them.
Hmm.
At least in our era, I know
Let's
that's
see.
changed quite a bit, but
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, my great grandparents, my great grandmother was a school principal. She was, a teacher. She was like she was right alongside my great grandfather. There was no inequality. There was no this is your role, this is my role. It was, you know,
yeah, but I bet
not
she
like
was still
that.
expected to put dinner on the table.
Well, I think that was something that was part of her thing, but it wasn't like an expected type.
Well, no, it's not an expected thing, because it was forced into women from an
Hmm.
early age, as this is what you have to do to keep a man, because he can't take care of himself. So you have to take care of him. You have to do all the grunt work. And so, and if not, he'll find somebody that will. Um, so I think, yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just a very I was really surprised when I saw this thing, and it's like, wow, I would have thought it would be exactly the opposite.
Yeah,
Why aren't men ever taught how to really treat a woman?
I think it is just one of those questions that is deigned to create conversation because yeah, it's very subjective. Okay, hey Chubbs, Timothy wants to know, do you make loved ones call you when they get there, no matter what the distance? Yes.
No,
Yeah.
not
Well, I mean,
anymore.
not call, but text.
Well,
Like when Heather goes home, she texts me when she gets home. If like when the other ones, the friends are on trips or something like that, yes, they text me when they get there.
no, I don't ask people to do that, because I know that if there was a problem, they would text me. So, um,
Hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm not worried about people being abducted as much as I guess you are.
Well, it's not the abduction, it's just, making sure that they're okay.
Well, I'm sure they're okay.
Well,
They're
I'm sure
grown-ups.
sure your people would, yeah, but some of us care a little bit more. Or
Yeah, whatever,
worry. Let's just say some of us worry a little bit more.
for no reason. Oh yeah, okay.
Anyway, moving on. Hey, I remember kindergarten.
I honestly don't remember kindergarten.
Huh.
I don't. I don't remember it. Because we had just gotten to the Azores, so this was my first venture into school. I mean, I remember going to school, but I don't remember anything specific about it.
Hmm.
I remember first grade because then we were actually like learning shit.
Okay.
But I don't remember kindergarten that much. I remember where it was, and I
Hmm.
knew, you know, all my friends were in, because well, we're on a the Air Force base, so all my
Hmm.
friends are everybody,
Right.
yeah, they're all there.
I remember a few little things. Like I remember that it was at Fair Oak School. I remember the classroom because it was kind of back away from the rest of the school. Um, my teacher's name was Mrs. Bleakman. She was a very nice lady. I remember there was this girl named Mary who had a birthday on the same day because they would put the person who's having the birthday in a chair in the middle of the room, and then the rest of the class would be in a circle around it and sing happy birthday. And I remember I had to share with her. So we had to both sit
Oh,
there.
this sounds like a Kathy Bacon thing again.
Yes, I was very jealous, but her name was Mary, so she was blonde and had pigtails. I remember arts and crafts. I remember little things like that. But one of the things I remember the most was that we were playing house. And actually, I think it was Mary who was supposed to be my wife while we were playing house. And I stayed home and took care of the house, and she went out to work. And we were reprimanded for that. So not by, I don't know if it was Mrs. Bleakman that did it or not, but we were told that, no, the man goes out and works and the woman stays home and takes
And
care
of
of
course,
stuff. And we were looking at
you
them
said,
like,
well, the woman was staying home. I don't know what you're talking about.
could have, if I had been as sassy then as, maybe I would have said that. But yeah, I just remember it was just like, no, I stayed home and was doing the cooking and cleaning and she went out to work and we didn't think anything else of it. So, all
You
right.
poor thing.
I know. We were far advanced back then. All right. Well, what's in your lunchbox? Mr. Moose wrote in and said, "Well, I went with hubby to a Chinese restaurant. Got chicken and broccoli, like beef and broccoli, but with fewer calories. I think I like the chicken better."
Okay.
Yeah. Another fish plate, sides of cantaloupe and tomato slices. Speedo season is approaching. Yeah, we're looking forward to those lunchbox photos. Um, Thank you so much, Mr. Moose. Those looks really incredible. I would be into that fish. I'd totally be
Yeah.
into that fish.
Well, there's a place over on across. Well, it's kind of diagonal from the Trader Joe's on Fair Oaks Boulevard. I
Hmm.
think it's Fair Oaks Boulevard. Is it Fair Oaks? No, Folsom on Folsom,
Okay.
Folsom Boulevard, and it's I can't remember the name of it, but it's a they make really good fish. So,
Hmm.
and then there's also one called JJ's Fish and Chicken over on Fruit Ridge, but the crowd there is kind of,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's see, Mr. Scott wrote in and said, "Hey guys, we went to our favorite cafe this morning for breakfast. I ordered a biscuit and gravy, and Mark ordered the full breakfast. We ended up sharing. I had two pieces of bacon and some of his potatoes, and had a piece of his sourdough toast, to wipe up the gravy. Mark had two eggs, two pieces of bacon, potatoes, and sourdough toast. We both left feeling full and had a delicious breakfast." That sounds really great. And those photos, mmm. Now,
See,
see, those are the type of potatoes I like.
see biscuits and gravy. I've never been a biscuit guy,
Yeah.
but I sure do love the gravy. The gravy
Yeah.
with the potatoes and the eggs. That's good for me. Of course, they go, well, why are you having the white gravy if you're not having them on biscuits. And it's like, well, I can have the biscuit on the side and not eat it. I've
Yeah.
always found biscuits to be dense and
Yeah.
it's like chewing on a lot of dough.
Yeah, I made biscuits yesterday from a can, and I expected them to be flakier, but they were like really dense. So, but we had them with some butter and some sugar-free raspberry jam. They were very good. But if you use that type of raspberry, you want to use it very sparingly. Otherwise, the bitterness of the sugar-free will overwhelm the taste.
And you know what I had yesterday? Is it yesterday? It was either yesterday or the day before. I had rye toast.
Oh,
It
I
was so
like rye
yummy.
toast. Yeah.
I like well, we got a loaf of rye bread because I wanted to make patty melts,
Mm.
and then we had all this rye bread left over, and I found out it's really yummy on everything.
Yeah,
So
I don't ever really
yeah,
get it, and I always think, oh no, I'm not gonna like that, and then I forget that I actually do like it.
yeah.
All right, hey, see what's in your lunchbox over at facebook.com/chubsgonewild. Find Tom's other podcasts at swannerandjudd.com. Find Matt's other projects at the justkisstheguy.com. Find all our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild. And give us an email at
ChubsGoneWild@gmail.com. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe.
yes, Queen. All right, we will catch you next week. Have a wonderful beginning of the month, and don't forget to do your rabbits. All right, bye.
Bye.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.